Good evening, friends, and welcome to the very first episode of Local Beats this semester. I'm Abby MacPhail.
And I'm Jack Gottsegen.
We have a jam-packed show for you tonight, featuring a performance from Stil Runnin,
what Rams are listening to on campus,
and a look at the hardcore scene in Fort Collins.
All this and more on the 21st night of September, right here on Local Beats.
At the end of last semester at the Music Business Collective, Stil Runnin put on a performance just outside the Laurie Student Center. They performed original songs as well as covers, including When the Curtain Falls by Greta Van Fleet, and the crowd loved it. Check out this quick introduction to Stil Runnin and all that they do.
Stil Runnin is a Fort Collins band that had their first performance back in the spring at the Music Business Collective, an event to show off CSU's music students.
What's up, y'all? I'm Carson. I'm from Stil Runnin. Been shredding today out at CSU. Beautiful day. Got a little hot there, a little sweaty, but good concert today. First gig ever.
It was great.
No worries,
It
Josh.
was so much fun. We had just absolutely lots of fun.
A lot of energy today.
A lot of energy bringing all these guys together for one special thing today. So it was awesome.
Stil Runnin had only been together for 5 months when they performed this first show.
We've kind of been jamming, playing for our friends here and there, but kind of starting to formulate it together, trying to put it together and try to take it to different places we haven't been before. So looking forward for that journey. So.
Their message of happiness spread through music was exemplified by their chemistry on stage, and the band hopes to bring joy to others through music performance.
Can
I
I
with these guys though? Share the greatest memories with them. We're able to share a message which we all want to spread to all the people and all of our friends. So
Yeah. God bless.
Stil Runnin had an amazing show, and we got them in the studio right here at CTV. Here's a recorded performance of Wicked World by Black Sabbath. had such a good time having them in the studio, and I personally cannot wait to see what they do next.
2 may be better than 1, but 3 is better than 2. Blast and Scrap is coming back with Carnage 3, an all-day event hosted by the Lyric on September 25th from 1 to 9 in the evening. There will be a food fest and an all-ages show, which includes bands like Wolf Blitzer, Hygia, Ruckus, and Dirt Sucker, alongside noise groups like Razor Wire Handcuffs and Blood Babe. This is an exciting event for both food and live music fans alike.
This weekend, Jack and I took to the plaza to ask our fellow Rams what songs were too sad to listen to, the concerts they went to over the summer, and all their favorite new songs. What did you go to this summer?
Oh, I went and saw 6-Year Gun with Cooper and others. It's a waste of everybody, mostly just hardcore shows. My friends dragged me along, kind of bad.
I did go to many concerts this summer. I went to Rainbow Kitten Surprise, my favorite band. I saw Stil Runnin, and I just saw Georgie.
I went to Kendrick and Baby Keem over the summer. That was the only one I went to, but that one was
Well, I never went to a concert in my entire life, so I just wanted to go to the Bad Bunny concert.
What song is too sad to listen to?
The Only Exception by Paramore and Breathe Me by CTV.
too sad to listen to. Drowned by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Probably too soon. Always too soon.
Too sad to listen to? What is love?
Ooh, I'm gonna say Amor Cola from Bad Bunny too.
And do you have any music recommendations?
I've been listening to Beck a lot recently. I would definitely give him a listen, especially Dreams and No Distractions.
Anything by Rage. Anything by Rage. Blew It in the Head. Great song. And check out Pantera.
Well, I already say Bad Bunny is the best one.
Some of my favorite music is by a YouTuber whose channel name is Miracle of Sound.
Rainbow Kitten Surprise all the time.
I loved the amount of just variety that we had.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the guy in the Kubla Khan shirt. Rage Against the Machine, obviously great band. I saw them live over the summer with my dad. It was an amazing show.
Yeah, to get that and Peanut Butter Jelly Time.
Absolutely.
I would have loved to hear the explanation behind that, but we just didn't have time.
But don't go away just yet, Rams. When we come back, we have the latest news on the Fort Collins music scene.
Living with someone you don't know on the other side of the wall is hard, especially if you don't know how to be a good roommate. The first thing that you'll want to do to be a good roommate is make sure that you always stay quiet. Be considerate of others when using common spaces and appliances.
Hey buddy, what you doing?
I'm just gonna need 40 minutes. Be respectful of your roommate's privacy. Ugh, my bad. Finally, make sure that you clean up after yourself. Oh, fresh toothbrush.
Have you seen my toothbrush?
Follow these tips to get along with your roommates and your landlord.
Hey Rams, welcome back from the break to my new segment here on Local Beats, Hardcore Highlight. Each episode, I'll be talking about the heavy music scene right here in Fort Collins. We're going to kick this week off with a Fort Collins band that's been making quite a name for themselves.
Heavy, sludgy, and definitely angry. Watching people drown are rising stars in northern Colorado hardcore. The band's lyrics are steeped in political vitriol and anger towards the system. Their Instagram bio says it best: anti-capitalist, trans-feminine aggression.
Starting with anti-capitalism, we kind of want to spread a message that is against capitalism and the monetization of basic human rights, the system that makes people need money to have water and food and health and a house, and the system that actively kills a lot of people all the time. Going to trans feminine aggression, I myself am a trans feminine person, and trans feminine people are often silenced at a very high rate and killed at a very high rate, and I, in a sense, want to use my platform to normalize giving trans feminine people platforms.
The band got together pretty quick. Drummer Evan and vocalist Rosa have known each other for years. They found their guitarist Bailey and bass player Eddie through mutual friends. All the members have been a part of the hardcore scene for years. Although very young, they're very active within the Fort Collins community through mutual aid.
At this show we have like Narcan and condoms and whatever people might need. We probably have a clothes thing going on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of really hardworking people in the music scene that are focused on mutual aid and helping each other. We are currently writing songs for a split with Old Skin, and we plan on having like a full-length release sometime over the next year or so.
If you like what you heard and want to hear more, their Instagram is @watchingpeopledrown.970. Their Bandcamp and Spotify will be linked in the description. We've got more on local music right after this.
Welcome back from the break, Rams. This weekend, we went to Aggie Theater to see a Fort Collins local band called People in General. This group is a fuse of math rock, bedroom pop, jazz, and indie styles. People in General got started in early 2019 and worked through the pandemic to create their very first EP called Friends. Now, I loved the People in General show. The energy on stage really pumped up the crowd, and I didn't expect there to be a trombone player, but the show was absolutely awesome.
KCSU brought back a student favorite 2 weeks ago, The Battle of the Bands Revival. Featured 4 CSU bands, Sunrise Daydream, Loud House, Robot Tennis Club, and Neighborhood Watch. The prize was $150 and a spot at FOCO MX. All 4 bands did amazing, but unfortunately, there can be only one winner. And this year that winner was Neighborhood Watch.
What to say? This is probably the best I've felt in. I don't even know how long.
It's cool. I mean, I don't know what else to say really.
I'm still processing it, really. I mean, it feels like a dream.
All the bands were super talented, and you cannot make me choose a winner, no matter how hard you try. But congratulations to Neighborhood Watch on the win.
In CSU news, Grammy-nominated songwriter and pianist Jim Brickman is performing a family-friendly concert of his greatest hits right here in Fort Collins. The show is on October 1st at 8 in the evening at the Griffin Concert Hall. The funds for this show will be donated to youth programs at Colorado State. These programs service hundreds of students across northern Colorado by providing equal opportunity and equal access to arts and music programming. Fans can look forward to enjoying live music and supporting a good cause with Jim Brickman.
A CSU alumni named Charles Hale opened a new vinyl record store in Fort Collins over the summer. The store is called Driver 8 Records and is located at 246 Pine Street in Old Town. It's home to a selection of music including punk, indie, rock, jazz, and hip-hop. Hale was formerly a DJ at KCSU while attending Colorado State University and is a lifelong music fan. He says he has always wanted to have a record store where great music can be shared and heard. When we come back, we'll be sharing our newest music recommendations, so stay tuned.
Welcome back from the break, Rams. Right now we've got some music recommendations from both me and Jack. You'll find some differences in them, but the first one, I've got to say Angel Band Hallelujah version by Tyler Childers. So good. This song, I love this song. I mean, it's definitely a change from Purgatory, but it's very good.
Yeah, I've never listened to Tyler Childers. I'm not very much of a country fan, but this is something that I can definitely get into.
Oh yeah, it's great. And of course, my second one has to be Grace by Marcus Mumford, lead singer of Mumford & Sons. I mean, this is like his first solo album that I've heard, and I love it. I mean, what band isn't he in? We've got New Basement Tapes, Mumford & Sons, now his own stuff. It's great. And of course, a band I'm sure you're familiar with. We have New Gold by Gorillaz featuring Tame Impala and Booty Brown.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a Gorillaz song. I've listened to Gorillaz for a long time. Like they're very cool, very experimental. I like it. I dig it.
Yeah, I think the whole idea of a completely virtual band is so cool. Very weird probably in concert, but I love almost every song they put out, so no complaints.
All right, and now it's my turn. And to start, we're going to do Cave In by Orthodox. I love this band. Ever since I saw them open for the Acacia Strain last year, I think they just have such a cool style, the way that they use panic chords, and their guitarist Austin, he's a lefty, but he plays a right-handed guitar upside down, which is really cool. Yeah, no, and I also really love that little whammy bar flutter at the beginning. It's really, really cool to hear. Second, I chose Loud and Clear by Heart Attack Man. I'm not much of a pop punk fan, but I think Heart Attack Man just gets pop punk right. It's I don't know, Eric Egan, he's just such a very talented songwriter and musician. It's basically his project, and he has so much fun with it.
Yeah, I think deep down in my heart of hearts, I love pop punk. I mean, Blink-182 ran my childhood, so I could definitely get behind that song for sure.
All right. My last pick of the night, Death Traverse by Misery Whip. Four words: alpine, militant, death metal.
I never thought I would hear those words strung together in a coherent way, but I mean, you gotta just go with it.
Yeah, it makes sense. When you listen to it, it's just very dark. It's got this really just kind of cold atmosphere about it.
There comes the alpine.
Yeah, exactly. I love Misery Whip ever since I heard their first single. And we have a special little bonus. Weezer is dropping a new album tomorrow called Autumn. It's their third album in a four-album four-album group where they write about the seasons. It's really cool. I like that concept. I've always thought that was a cool concept. And
maybe we'll get a new Island in the Sun.
Maybe.
If you're looking for more amazing music recommendations, then KCSU is the place to listen. They feature both local music and hidden gems. You can check them out on 90.5 FM on the radio or listen on the KCSU app. All right, this has got to be my favorite segment. So this is the breakdown. Me and Jack obviously have very different music tastes. So we have to ask ourselves, is there a common ground we can find? And today's question is, what is the most influential genre of music?
Objectively speaking, it's the blues.
Yeah.
The entire basis for all modern music. Rock and roll, heavy metal, just everything. Pop music, jazz, it's very, very much ingrained.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think in almost every genre of music you can find some sort of aspect of blues and jazz, because they do overlap in a sense. I mean, even if you go back to the 50s and 60s, you're hearing a lot of songs come with this blues undertone. And then even if you look at it now, I mean, the Tyler Childers song I just played, it was it's very like jazzy folk, like it's very good. I would agree with you on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, not objectively speaking, what do you think is the best?
Man, I mean, I think that yes, the blues and jazz is very much like the baseline that a lot of excuse me, music is built off of. But like something that I thought was like really transformative, I mean, I would have to go with classic rock.
That's very true. Like, I would also agree with you on that.
Yeah, I think it just took a lot of music that like, it was kind of a transitional period, I think, in music, where we were going from like, again, like very blues and jazz heavy music to more like branching out into like modern rock and pop punk and like all of the new kind of like new age genres that came out of that era.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and you know, from classic rock, you also get punk bands, you get all like the heavy metal stuff. Like, it was really like just a cool genre because it's just so diverse, especially when you get into like the 70s and 80s. That's when everything just goes boom, just splits.
I think it was very experimental too. I mean, like there was new technology coming out when it came to music. I mean, you know, there's new like guitars that are being built and there's new like amps and different types of like vocals that you can do that like no one had really done before because we just didn't have access to that technology. So I think that like the idea that classic rock really honed in on that kind of like revolution, I guess, really like makes it a pretty transformative and I think personally a very influential genre of music.
Yeah, I would actually agree with you on that. Yeah. Well, Rams, it looks like that's all the time we have for you tonight. Make sure to check out the description to listen to all the music featured on tonight's show.
Thank you so much for listening to the first Local Beats show this semester. I'm your host, Abby MacPhail.
And I'm your host, Jack Gottsegen. Have a good night.